Welcome to the Life and Times podcast. Sit back, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the vibes, and thank you for checking us out. It tries to be fancy every now and then.
It was a fancy countdown.
Right. All right, Christina, what's
Hey,
happening?
hi.
Yeah, how's life going? How's life
Life,
treating you?
life is good.
Life is good.
Work is the same.
True,
Yeah.
true.
It's been, just hanging out, working, living life when I can get
Hell
away
yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah, I just got back from a vacation like 2 days ago. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Where'd you go?
We went to the Gulf Shores in Florida.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's a good place to unwind.
Yeah, it was nice. And it was the weekend before Memorial Day, so it wasn't like busy or
Before all
crowded.
the
Yeah.
insane families and everybody shows up.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, the beaches were nice. Nice and we did see a shark in the water while we were at the
Really?
beach.
What kind of
Yeah.
shark?
It was I didn't see what kind it was, but it was like 3 or 4 feet long. Somebody just yelled shark and I looked over, you could see it swimming right along the coast.
Wow, what the
Yeah.
hell? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. We need
Yeah.
to go to the beach, hopefully
Every,
this year.
everybody
Hopefully.
needs to go to the beach. It's just
Facts.
it like recharged my soul. That's what it feels like.
This is true. I mean, when I lived in Florida, I would try to go like at least every other weekend, but then it got to the point where it was especially I didn't realize how the population like increases like times three when it's going into the
The
what
warm
is it,
ups,
the
like the
yeah,
sun, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
insane. It's
People with their
insane.
beach houses, they'd go down there for months. Like, I say that in a jealous tone, but I definitely want to be like those people. So,
Facts.
definitely want a beach house I can just escape to.
That's
So,
a that's a fact. That's a
yeah.
fact. All right, cool. Well, listeners, welcome to another episode of the Life and Times podcast. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. This is episode 7, and we have the wonderful, talented Miss Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina. I've been in the industry for 14 years now.
Cool.
So, and I've worked literally every single position in a restaurant, back
Hell
house,
yeah.
front of house. You name the position, I've worked it. So,
We're that's
yeah,
we're always the best ones. Where we're like a multifaceted tool where
yeah,
we've worked everywhere, and
yeah.
we've experienced every kind of experience working in a restaurant. So
Yeah, and all kinds of different restaurants too, like fast casual, dive bars, fine dining. Yeah, I've been all over the board.
nice. How long have you been in Atlanta now?
Ooh, let's see. I moved here in January of 2014. So like
That
January
was
2nd,
14.
2014.
Yeah, I was thinking like
Oh
20.
man, almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I
Wow.
I thought it was 2013
Yeah, it
when
was the
I
end of
met you.
2013. Yeah.
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 That's awesome, man.
That's crazy. I can't believe I've been here that long.
That's a whole decade, man. That's
Yeah.
nuts. That's
And
crazy.
honestly, before I moved here, I never in my life thought I'd be living in Atlanta. So, like, I just moved here on a whim, and then I ended up staying, and now I have the whole life here. So,
And now you are one of us. So
yeah, it's definitely Atlanta's my home now. So,
right now you're probably yelling at people, "Get out of my city," like the
oh
rest of us.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. No,
yeah.
like being from Houston, I love being from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from Houston. I loved growing up in Texas. I love the pride that like Texas has.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart is torn now between Atlanta and Houston because I've lived here so long and I've just fallen in love with this city. So
Yeah.
this is where I've
That's
built my career. This is where I spent a little over a third of my life. So, or a
that's
third of my
dope,
life.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
hmm
And I mean, I'll go into it when I make my toast to you, but I'm very proud of how you're moving along in life, moving along in your career,
Yeah.
And, we're going to talk about that. But
Yeah.
before we do all that, everyone, all of our listeners, they know how we start this. We
Yes.
start this thing with, I guess, a time honored tradition here in the hospitality industry. Something
Yes.
that you learn how, either you come in knowing how to do it, or you quickly learn how to do it working in the
Yeah.
hospitality industry.
If you
And
go
that's
anywhere or hang out with anyone else in the industry, this is what you do first.
a amen, amen, and that's drinking. So,
Yes.
my first question, ma'am, what are you drinking?
Well, I would have liked it to be something more fun, but it's iced coffee.
Okay,
So,
okay.
big thing of iced coffee because I do have to go close my restaurant after we are done recording.
You
So,
do, you do, you do.
yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna drink for the both of us.
Yeah.
Uh, I have Three Taverns, A Night
Oh, I
on
love that
Ponce.
one. Yeah.
It's an IPA. It's a delicious one. I don't have to tell the listeners if it sucks. I'm gonna let you know because it doesn't suck. It's a
It does not.
terrific beer.
Yeah.
So, you know. Okay, so a toast to you, man. A toast
Yeah.
again to being, working, advancing in your career, advancing in life, and setting ground here in Atlanta and officially being one of us now. No longer an
Yay.
outsider. So, cheers to you, homie.
Thanks. Cheers.
Good to
Thanks.
see you. And cheers to the listeners, of course. All right.
I love that you said I was one of us now.
Yeah, you're
I love
welcome, man. You're
that.
you're you're in the fold now.
Yeah.
You're one of us. All right, so let's go ahead and set the table. I want the listeners to get a better idea of who you are and what makes you tick in
Okay.
terms of the hospitality industry. So, first question, what was your what was your perception of hospitality workers growing up?
Well, okay, so growing up, my mom would always talk about how she was a server at Chili's to put herself
Okay.
through college. And so I think that was probably my first memory of like learning about the industry or learning about being a waitress or a server was from her. And
Okay.
so she always just told us that she loved how busy it was and how much money she made, and she got to work with all of her friends, and that just sounded like something that just sounded something fun. I want to work with my friends.
Definitely.
I want to make good money. I want to I want to work hard, but that was my
Hell
first
yeah.
perception, was that it was like a big party. So,
Which it can be,
it can
depending
be,
on.
especially as a server on the floor, it definitely can be a big party. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay. I like that answer. What was your first job in hospitality?
A server at Papacitos.
It
At
was
Papacitos
Papa.
in Houston. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my first job, and I started there when I was 19, going into 20. And Papa's is a big, big community in Houston.
Huge.
So,
Yes.
there's Papa's everywhere. There's different Papa's concepts. To get in at 19 to be a server, especially at the Papacitos I was working at, it was kind of in the like heart of Houston, like downtown area. It was a big deal. So, these people took their training very seriously.
Oh, definitely.
So
Definitely.
to learn how to work in the industry, I feel like I had a leg up working for a company like that, getting that training from them. So,
I can definitely agree. I can attest. Working for that company, I think
yeah.
that was one thing that we definitely immediately connected on. We were like,
Yeah.
we're extended family basically. So,
Yeah.
that is I will say, when it's done right, when it's ran efficiently, which for the most part they do a very good job of doing that. It's a terrific first experience into the industry. It's
Yeah.
almost a jaded experience, to be honest,
It is.
because
It is because I have worked in many places since then, and I have not worked in a single place that was like that. So,
not nearly as efficient, and
yeah.
you take a lot of things for granted, as in, if this happens, we're already into plan B. Like they've
Yeah.
literally thought of every possible scenario, you
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say the one I was hired at, if you showed up for your shift out of uniform or late, there was 3 people waiting to take your section that weren't
Immediately.
scheduled, that showed up just in case because they wanted to make money.
Hmm.
So it was insane.
And that's a culture. I don't want to say culture as in I'm giving them props for that, but it's that element of, hey, are you gonna come correct and get to this
Yeah.
money, or are you gonna
Are you here to
just
work? Or are you messing around? So,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely enough props to Papa's family
Office.
today.
You and I have actually worked for a few different of the same companies at different
Really?
times.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So now that was your first job. Now, biggest question for sure. Do you feel that everyone should have at least one job in the hospitality industry, and better yet, why?
Absolutely, you should. 100% you should. Um, I think that working in the hospitality industry teaches you something you can't learn anywhere else. Just the camaraderie amongst people who work there, the patience that you have to work in an industry like that. And then you get a better understanding of humans in general. Like,
Definitely.
it doesn't always make sense, but you kind of get a better understanding of them. And so I just think that working in the industry gives you compassion and empathy that you didn't have before. Um,
Definitely.
so I think everyone should at least work a summer in the industry.
I
So
like that.
I
I
mean, it's
like
like
that.
2 months as a host. That'll be enough. So,
I
yeah.
think last week's guest said something to that extent. He was like, "Dude, just let them work a summer as a host,
Yeah,
and
a summer as
they'll,
a host, and that
yeah,
it'll change your perception of A, people who work in the industry, and B, people in general. So,
definitely." Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, I like all of your answers. Like I said before, honestly still waiting on the guest to tell me. No, I don't think people should work in the hospitality industry.
Well, I'm gonna be surprised if anyone does say that. I think if anyone were to give that answer, it'd be somebody who doesn't work, who has not worked in the industry.
This is
So,
a fact. This is a
because
fact.
all of us who have put in the hard work and the years, we understand what we've taken from that. So,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. All right, so you mentioned this earlier in the podcast, that you've pretty much worked every position, and
Yeah.
you've worked in a number of different restaurants. You've had a number of experiences that have culminated into where you are right now, and you're
Yeah.
still ascending. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. I want to talk
Okay.
about those lessons learned from the beginning, and
Okay.
that helped you pave the way.
Well, I've worked, like you said, every position. I've worked at Papa's alone. I did every position except management. So, I learned how to do the masa side in the kitchen. So I was a line
Nice.
cook for a short period of time. I would expo on Friday or Saturday nights when we were short staff. I would expo during lunch. Serving, bartending, hosting, wherever I was needed, really. Um, I have grown so much as a person, and industry, like learning how to fit in where I'm needed or step into a role that I wasn't prepared to step into, has made me a quick thinker now as an adult. Like,
Definitely, definitely,
instead of getting broken down by small things that are happening, I'm like, okay, well, that didn't work, so let's do it this way. And, just, it's taught me a lot more patience, a lot more hard
definitely.
work, a lot more, you know, being a server and hearing stuff from managers, or being a bartender hearing stuff from managers that we don't want to hear, or stuff we have to do now that we don't want to do, being like, well, why doesn't so and so do it this way and they do it this way and then we wouldn't have to, or it just made me think of the restaurant as a whole instead of just each individual position, because it should be one thing. And
Exactly.
so now I'm in a management role. I'm the I'm the AGM at my restaurant now. And
Congratulations. So I'm gonna clap it up. I'm gonna clap it up.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a long way, but I'm able to think about things from five different sides instead of just one side now, and I think that
Definitely.
came from bouncing around from different positions at different restaurants. So, you know, I I appreciate that. I appreciate that lesson that I've learned because
Yeah.
I have a better understanding, and I'm less quick to judge or less quick to say it's this person's fault or it's this reason. Or, I'm able to think about it more. And,
It really helps you. It helps knowing that you've walked in those other shoes.
yeah,
That way, that you can have empathy or have that understanding of, man, I want. Why is the dishwasher so slow right now? And you're like, well, it's this little thing. Like, hey, people aren't scraping the plates, or people are
yeah,
throwing silverware away, and
yeah,
this is the reason why he's trying to do his job and
yeah,
save silverware by picking it through the trash. When you're
yeah,
like, dude, you should be washing plates and keeping it
yeah,
moving, and you
yeah.
don't even think about that kind of
You
stuff
don't think about
unless
what he's doing because we're running
exactly.
out of silverware, but because they're getting thrown in the trash, and so he's picking the silverware out of the trash, and yeah,
Exactly, exactly, and that's one of the many examples of
yeah,
it's something you said that really hit for me was that the entire restaurant should be treated like an entire machine, like an entire
yeah.
unit, in
It's
every
a
piece.
well-oiled machine. If everyone's in their place, it should work. It should work. So,
Exactly, exactly, exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Okay, so I mean, not not many people do that in the sense of having that having that passion to say, "Hey, I want to do another position."
yeah,
Most people, and what I mean is, most people are complacent beings, especially
right.
if whatever situation in is a good one. So I'm asking you, what made you step out and have that kind of confidence? Did someone just push you into those kind of situations, or did
No,
you just say like, "Yo, I want to do this"?
it's called ADHD, and I get I get very bored. Really, it's just me being inquisitive and wanting to learn more about other places, other things.
Definitely.
The back of house positions, not so much. I probably never would have done that, but I had experienced a tragedy losing my brother a few years back,
Hmm.
and I wanted to go back to work, but I wasn't quite ready to be that person you need to interact with guests. So
Right.
I
I
went back and
understand
worked
that.
back at house positions. But in doing that, I actually fell in love with working back at house positions, and that's when I learned different positions. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Shout out to Fonz. He
Oh
was a
yeah,
g- that was one of my guys for sure,
yeah.
man. He was good people.
His birthday was this past Friday. So
Was it? Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Well,
that's why I went out. I went out to the beach to celebrate him. So
got you. Okay. All
yeah,
right. Well, rest in power to him. Like I said,
yeah.
he was a great dude. So y'all were great. Y'all were a good duo. Uh, within
He was
my
my favorite dude. Yeah,
yeah,
from
operation.
birth.
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's continue talking about these challenges because, like you just said, you push yourself to go to the back of the house, which is
Yeah.
that's a huge difference between working on the daily of working with servers and waiters and taking care of the guests to going to the back where it's a whole different world, whole
So
different
different.
mentality
Yeah.
where whereas in
Yeah.
the front you're like, I want to be nice to people and hug
Yeah.
them and make them feel good, where in the
And in
back
the back, they just want to
we're
talk
like,
trash
fuck
to each
you.
other.
Right, right, right. They said the steak is overcooked. What the hell they mean? They don't know how to
Yeah.
cook a steak. It's that
You
whole
can,
kind of different
yeah,
mentality.
really cuss a guest out from the back because they can't hear you. So.
So how was that adjustment? Like, I mean, you were in the front of house for long enough to start having that kitchen mentality of
Yeah.
like, let's get it done and screw
I
that
got to say
person.
things I was thinking that I couldn't
Right,
say.
right,
So,
right. So was it like a release or a breath of fresh air working in the kitchen or what?
it definitely was because if somebody was upset or if they didn't like something, I didn't really have to deal with it. I just had
Mm.
to remake it.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get as upset. It didn't affect my money. It just, yeah. So
This is
if somebody came
down.
back, they were like, they said they didn't like it. I'm like, okay, do you want a new one? Like,
Right, right, right.
that's all. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. All I can do is make you a new one. So,
So with that being said, I'm just thinking about this. Do you think that it would be valuable for back of the house employees to work in the front of the house, at least for some short
like
amount of
one
period in
shift
some
or like,
weird
yeah.
dynamic, you know?
Yeah, I think yes. I think that's a great question. I think it would be beneficial for back of house to work a weekend or a day in the front of house just to understand the difference because in the back of house, I mean, sometimes you get into a mentality where you're just trying to make tickets, you're just trying to push the stuff out. It
Right,
doesn't matter if it's not perfect, but it should be perfect every time going out. And
right,
so, if somebody's feeling that way, let's say on your, like somebody who's making pizzas feels that way, and then they just put toppings wherever they feel like it instead of toppings on the whole pizza.
right.
That pizza's going to get to the table, and that person's going to be upset with the
Definitely.
server, even though the server has nothing to do with making the food. So,
Exactly.
but the server is a person they're face to face with, so they get the brunt of the anger, of the upsetness. So, yeah,
Definitely. And I mean, I do think working in an open kitchen is a close bridge for the back of the house to actually see and understand what's going on with the front of the house people. Like, honestly,
yeah,
some customers can be jerks,
yeah,
and sometimes, a lot of the time, it's our fault as a kitchen. We're making the food, or we're
yeah,
taking too long, and
yeah,
it's affecting the flow of the restaurant. It's
yeah.
affecting the guest experience, and it's messing up servers' money or
Yeah,
bartenders' money.
no table wants to wait 40 minutes for their food to come out. So,
Exactly,
you know,
exactly.
and a server
So
definitely doesn't want their table waiting 40 minutes for the food to come out. So it's just,
exactly.
yeah.
So I mean, I do think having like I remember at the place that we worked, it was an open kitchen for the most part in the front end.
Yeah.
So those line cooks, if we were dragging behind, they they saw firsthand experience.
Yeah.
They saw it firsthand experience of a guest being frustrated, and
Yeah.
therein the server or the host or
Yeah.
whoever is being frustrated. So they kind of took it. I know a lot of my guys there in particular, they took it to heart when we were
Yeah.
if we dropped the ball.
It's different when that customer is staring you down because they're mad.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to
Exactly.
hide. You just
Exactly.
try not to make eye contact, but it makes you feel different when the customer can see you and they're upset. So,
True. All right, so let's talk about the transition of going into management, making the biggest jump of all, I would
oh,
say,
yeah.
going from an hourly employee to someone's salary,
Yeah.
and therein
Yeah.
locked
So,
in.
it's been a weird few years because I went from I haven't been a server in a long time because once I started bartending, I strictly was just bartending for like 10
That's
years.
it. That's
So
it. That's
I
it.
bartended for like 10 years. So, it was weird. I actually tried to get out of the industry and I got a job in an office.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that lasted about a month and a half.
Okay. Why?
I just, A, I didn't really like the job. B, I wasn't really getting paid well.
Okay.
And I just, I missed being in the bar. So I went
Okay.
back.
Gotcha.
And then last year, I was a GM for a fast casual dining
Okay.
restaurant. Um, and that just didn't work out. It just, wasn't for me. So,
Gotcha.
but I stepped into this role at this restaurant as a server. and I was a
Okay.
server for about 2 weeks before they put me back in management. So
I'm guessing someone important actually had a conversation with you and was like, okay, yeah,
yeah,
no, 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 no.
no,
We're
yeah.
gonna do
And then
something
he
else
saw
with
my
you.
resume and he was like, pulled me aside and we talked about it. So the transition going from server, like a brand new server, into management at this specific restaurant has been a little rough
Okay,
because they don't know me that well. So they know
that
that I
makes
was a new
sense.
server and now I'm the AGM. And so, but I don't know, it's been weird. It's
Mm,
it's 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 like I was just still in their shoes not that long ago, and so trying to make everyone happy and make the servers happy and make them feel like I care about them or that we care
hmm
about them as a management team,
Right.
but still trying to find the balance with not letting disrespectful things be said or done, or keep trying to keep the peace pretty much.
There's still a job to be done.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. I'm
balance. It's
still doing
definitely a
my job,
balance.
and that unfortunately directly affects you guys and how you do your job. So,
Right.
not unfortunately, but
No, it
they just,
is.
yeah.
That's what
They're
you
having a
signed up
hard time
for.
adjusting.
Are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I meant hopefully. Like I meant, how long have you been in your position with them?
At this restaurant for about 2 months.
Okay, so it's still new. It's
Yeah.
still new, and I'm gonna be the optimist for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring
Okay.
optimism to you, because
Some days I need it.
dude, I fully understand that. I've been in your shoes. Not the exact situation, but
Yeah.
very similar, where you go from peer to management type,
Yeah.
and it seems overnight.
Yeah.
And you find yourself managing people that were essentially leading you like seven
Yeah.
days ago, or telling
Right.
you, hey, what you're doing isn't right, like that sort of thing.
Right.
The only thing I can tell you is just to try to be as consistent as possible, be positive, and when those tough times do come, when that adversity does come, that's where you have your opportunity to shine, and then it'll click for them like, oh, okay, she does know
Yeah.
what she's doing, or
Right.
she does care about me. Like, it's that sort of weird thing,
Yeah.
it's that,
Yeah.
because it's one of those things like, I will say, for me, in my experience working in the hospitality industry, or managing, or being a general manager and leading restaurants, stuff like that, my personality is one where you think that I don't like you or something just because how dry I am. I'm normally not just smiling. You know that. You
I
work for
never
me.
thought that, but I never
You
felt that way.
I know you didn't, because you got me because I would tell you things, but
Yeah.
people would think that. But it
Yeah.
wasn't until the moments of, okay, the roof is on fire, and Adrian comes, takes care of whatever, and you're
Yeah.
good. You're more than
And now
good. You're
everything's
well
good.
taken
Yeah.
care of. The
Yeah.
customer's well good. And Adrian goes right back into the shadows type situation. And then you have an appreciation for it. And that was
Adrian
when
is
I was,
Batman.
you said what? Oh, Batman.
Adrian is Batman. He
See,
comes
and
out of the shadows.
that was my approach when I was younger. And as years got on, I had to balance it even more, where, hey, I want to work with you, I want you to do good, but
Yeah.
hey, there's a job to be done.
Yeah.
But as long as you're being consistent, as long as you're being as consistent as possible, no one's a robot, so
Yeah.
don't
I was
take
like,
that as
it's
being a robot.
easier said than done.
Right.
But yeah.
Because you're going to have tough days. You're going to have your own personal shit going on. That's
Yeah.
being an adult. So as long as you're trying to be as consistent as possible and taking care of your people, they're going to follow suit, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. We're just still in an adjustment period. So, I'm staying optimistic. I'm staying positive. We have a very solid staff.
good.
We have a lot of aces. And then the other ones are still like great, like in training, learning as much
hmm
as they can. So, we're coming into some exciting times. The summertime is busy for my place,
Okay.
with events and everything going on in Atlanta because we are right next door to the aquarium.
Oh,
So,
nice. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, I live in
summertime.
Midtown, so I'm not far from you.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, definitely come check us out. But yeah, we're right next to the aquarium, so summertime is, a big busy season for us.
Nice,
So
nice. Okay. Well, I wish you and the your staff all the best as in for the season, and I hope everyone makes as much money as possible
yeah,
and all that good stuff. All right. So, okay. So we're talking about you being a manager.
yeah,
We've already touched on the fact that hey, you are an overnight sensation jumping into your role,
yeah,
essentially. Whether that was fair to you or not, it is what it is. We're
yeah,
doing it. We're gonna make it
yeah,
work. But
yeah. I
in
love a
your
good challenge. So
exactly, exactly, and I know that of you. But as a manager, as a woman, you're gonna deal with some microaggressions, right?
oh yeah.
So tell me about that. How tell me about the microaggressions that you deal with in your current role.
Um, well, a lot of them come from, I don't want to say upper management because I don't want that to sound bad, but I have a very male oriented upper management system where I
Okay.
work.
Okay.
And I think, and then and then my GM is male, and then my counterpart is a male as well. So I'm kind of
Okay.
like the only female.
Gotcha.
And so,
Gotcha.
um, sometimes I just feel kind of I just feel kind of pushed aside in that regard
Okay.
by them, but I don't think on purpose. I think that they just kind of forget. I don't want to say forget, but they disregard, not dis. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Let me think about it. They just kind of ask my counterpart or my GM first before they'll ask me, if that
Gotcha.
makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Or I'll have the same idea that they have, but it's not heard until. And I
One of
don't
the
think anyone's
fellas
doing it on
says it.
purpose. I think they're just used to having males in the building, and so,
Mm,
you know, me being a new manager, still also as well. So, and then I like get a lot of microaggressions from the front of house staff. Just they were used to it being one way, now it's a different way, and
for sure.
I'm the bad guy because I'm the new manager. So, I
That
mean, I just really take it in stride. I don't really let it kind of bring me down. I just keep going. I keep my head on straight. Keep working. Keep doing what I'm there to do. I'm there to make a difference. I'm there to turn everything around. So that's really, really how I handle it. It's just kind of pretend like it doesn't exist.
well that can take a toll, can it? Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, but I'm more of the kind of person that I want to prove like my worth is going to be proven by what I do. And so what I say is really not going to matter in the moment because I'm going to prove to you my end results for you. You're going to be like, wow, okay,
She
maybe we
was
should
right.
listen to her more. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And my GM is great. He always takes me into consideration and he always asks my opinion on stuff. I'm definitely his like right hand man, his number two. So
Gotcha. Okay.
he always backs me up when it comes to upper management and stuff. So I'm lucky in that regard that I have one of the best GMs. So
Nice.
you
Well,
know,
that's always important.
yeah,
If that general manager, assistant general manager relationship is so vital because
yeah,
if you two lose that connection, then it could just be the most awful experience ever.
right,
You know.
yeah, yeah. No, he is great. He was one of my managers at when I worked at Papacitos, and
Really?
so yeah,
Okay. Okay. So
so
I may know
he's still.
him.
Oh yeah, you probably do.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
He is one of my favorite people I've ever worked for. Just a good manager. He has my back. He will always have my back, and I don't ever feel like he won't. So, you know, it's nice to have that security with somebody who is your boss.
Definitely.
So,
Now, see, you see exactly what you just finished saying about him.
yeah,
Your employees are going to say the same thing about you.
yeah,
I can guarantee that because
they will. They'll
you
just
know
take
what
some
it
time to get
takes.
there.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
you stay the course. I have full faith in I know your capabilities. You know your capabilities.
yeah.
You don't need me to hype you up, but if you want me to, I will. because that's what I'm gonna do. You're the homie,
Yeah.
so your employees are gonna have that same kind of feeling for you. So
Yeah.
have no doubt, and I have no doubt in my mind about that for sure. So, what's the next? What's the next biggest event going on down there? You
This
don't have
weekend
to
we have
go into super
MomoCon.
specifics. Hold on, which one was it?
MomoCon.
Oh, okay, okay. What is that? The anime type thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
We started seeing them come in yesterday.
okay,
So my restaurant is a part of the hotel,
okay.
Hilton Garden Inn downtown, and so
Got you. Okay.
we started seeing them check in yesterday, and
Are y'all dressing up?
they are dressing up.
What about y'all?
No, I'm wearing. No, we're not
Okay.
dressing up. It's hard to work. I mean, I do. We have 2 floors in my restaurant. I'm up and down the stairs.
Ah,
If I
okay,
wore
okay.
anything, any sort of costume, anything, I would just die. So the we have a lot of it's a lot of restaurant. There's a lot of restaurants.
Nice. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I mean
We have
that's
40,000 people in town this weekend.
nice.
So
I'm
all in
avoiding.
our little square right there. It should be
Yeah.
nice and crazy.
I'm avoiding
Looking
downtown
forward.
this weekend. I am definitely avoiding downtown. I got a graduation to go to. Graduation celebration, all that stuff. So
Oh yeah, it's graduation season. Big top season.
open up checkbooks and Amazon gift cards for
Yeah,
kids and all that
yeah.
stuff.
I don't know a single person graduating this year.
Really?
So yeah.
Well, if you want to sponsor some of these kids that I know, you're more than welcome to be
Oh, I
on.
got plenty of them coming up, please.
Nice.
Gotta start saving now for all my dang nieces and nephews coming up. So.
Nice,
Little
nice.
cousins, yeah.
When's
I
the
have a
next?
very big family, you know.
Yeah.
The Hispanic side of my family is huge, so
Are they
they're all like
back in
16,
Texas?
17. Yeah,
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, all right. So let's go ahead and get to last week's question that
Oh
was
yeah, what
left
was
to
it?
you. Last week's question. Okay. If there was shout out to Jayla. Yeah, it was Jayla. Last week's question was from Jayla. She says, if there is one celebrity or important influential person in history of our world that you wanted to bring back for the day, who would it be?
Ooh, celebrity or influential? That's a good question, Jayla.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to bring back. Dang, I don't know. Like 4 different people popped in my head at one time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a hard question. But so I don't ever typically get very upset if celebrities or influential people have gone because I don't know these people, right? But there's one
Same.
death that really got me off guard, and that was Chester from Linkin Park.
Ah,
I think that I would want to have a talk with him
okay.
because a lot of his music helped me a lot when I was dealing with my own mental illness growing up, and I think that I would just want to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, and try to put together what like I can't imagine that kind of pain, but I would want to talk to him because he was just so talented and he had so much, and he just I don't know he was somebody I looked up to growing up, and I would
He's
definitely want to see
talented,
him.
super
Yeah,
talented dude, man.
yeah.
What's your favorite Linkin Park song?
Ooh, probably anything from Hybrid Theory, their first album. So
That's
yeah,
probably yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's really the only person I keep coming back to. There's definitely other people I would want to talk to for different reasons, but I keep coming back to Chester's name just because I just I just want to pick his brain. He just was so talented, and I loved his music and everything about it, and everything about him, and so
You
that
could
was one of
feel
those
it.
deaths that really got me.
You could feel it when the way he was singing. Like you could actually feel that emotion, that sort
The
of thing.
passion he had
Right.
behind it, and so yeah,
Exactly.
to be that
Exactly.
passionate about something is definitely interesting. So.
Amen. All right. So, what's your question for next week's guest?
Oh God, okay. I've been thinking about this for like 4 days, and I'm like,
Okay.
do I ask something
dude,
That's
it's been a full range of
yeah. I'm like,
questions.
do I have something that's like respectable, or do I go
It
into a crazy?
it can go anywhere, wherever you want, and they have to answer it. They have to,
Okay.
have to.
All right. So I landed on it's one of those who would you sleep with,
Okay,
marry, or kill?
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay. And it's Jon Stewart,
okay,
Barack Obama,
okay,
or Joe Biden.
okay, okay.
And you have to answer it.
Hey,
So
there. The next week's guest is definitely gonna answer that, and I'm probably gonna have to clip it all for
yeah.
what they
Yeah.
say.
I just, was trying to think of the most random three people that I could
Hmm.
and the most random question that I could because I couldn't think of anything else. So,
It makes for good conversation.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I've been watching too much TikTok lately and there's been a lot of that question going around. So,
got you. I got you
yeah.
on that. All right,
Yeah.
so another contribution to the podcast. Before we do that, I do want to thank you for joining me on
Oh,
this
yeah.
podcast. I'm
Yeah.
very thankful that you took out time of your busy schedule,
Yeah.
being AGM of a hopefully a super successful restaurant this summer. I
Yes.
hope this weekend rocks out for everybody. So
Yeah.
shout out to you and your staff. But before we let you go, we always have to contribute to the Life and Times playlist. So,
Okay.
listeners on Spotify, look it up, the Life and Times playlist. And
Okay.
basically, all it is a curation of vibes, of songs brought to you by the host, me, Adrian, and our guests, our weekly guests. And it's a nice range of music. It's been some really good music on there, and it's going to keep going. So, Christina, what two songs are you adding to our playlist?
Okay. I'm going to add the first one. I'm going to add, it's one of my like pump songs, like when I want to get like pumped with positivity.
Okay.
It's Ways to Go by Group Love.
Okay, Group Love. Nice, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't listened to them in forever.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is one of my all-time favorite songs. Just when I want to burst of positivity, this song always makes me feel that. And then I'm going to add Grand Theft Autumn by Fall Out Boy. And that's just one of my
Nice.
all-time favorite songs that I listen to probably once a day. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I haven't listened to Fallout Boy in a while too, so I mean, I'm gonna get right back into the kick with them because
Yeah.
those are always some of my favorites. Okay, all right. So, my two songs. I've been moving around, moving and grooving, trying to decide what I actually wanted to do. Okay,
Yeah.
so first one is a single by NxWorries and Anderson .Paak, and it's called "Daydreaming."
I love Anderson .Paak.
Super dope vibe. Anderson's been everywhere, so
Yeah.
I have one friend who absolutely despises him, but I was just like, Anderson's talented, man. I can't deny that, man. So, you know, it's a cool song, dope vibe. I highly recommend it. It's going on the playlist. And
Yeah.
the next song, let me pull it up just so I can make sure that I'm crediting them properly. Okay, is Kembe X, Isaiah Rashad, and Reason, and the name of the song is "The Basement."
Oh.
All the guys delivered on this. Again, it's a cool little summer vibe to it, and I think everyone will enjoy it. So,
Nice.
again, listeners, check it out on Spotify, the Life and Times playlist, and we update it weekly. As soon as the guest tells me what song they want, we're adding it to it. So that's
Yeah.
that. All
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah. It's just something so you could be introduced to some new music, or at least some. It doesn't even have to be new. It could be whatever's going on in your head. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what vibe I'm on right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So Christina, we've reached the end of the podcast. You feel any better? You feel
Oh,
changed or
I
affected?
mean, Yeah, no, it's I love this podcast because I mean, there's a whole world of people in the industry and we all have different experiences, but all the same at the same time. So,
Definitely.
you know, we experience the same kind of things. Just thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah.
Hope it was good.
Hell
Hope
yeah.
it was good. Hope you have
It's,
some good material.
nah, we do. We do. I mean, it's really good seeing you. It's always good like reconnecting with
Yeah.
people of the past with you,
Yeah.
you know?
You
Like
gave me my first job in Georgia.
I
So,
did. I did. I
yeah.
did. I meant
You're one of the first people I met living here. So,
nice. Well, I
yeah.
I helped open the door for you to be
Yeah.
an official Atlanta
Yeah.
lifer. So you're an
Yeah.
Atlanta lifer. So,
Yes.
man, shout out to you. I'm like I said, man, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Keep up the good fight. You know what to do.
Yeah.
You're one of us former Papa's kids, so we
Yeah. All those kids.
yeah. So
Yeah. We run deep. There's
oh,
a lot of us.
we run very deep. We run
Yeah.
very deep. So
Yeah.
all right. So listeners, once again, thank you all for checking us out. This is the Life and Times podcast. I'm Adrian. This was Christina. It's absolutely been a pleasure. Oh, be sure to follow us at oh, actually, I'm sorry, Christina. If you have any socials, please drop those that you want the
Yeah.
people to follow you and check you out.
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Panda X Tina 222. Yeah, you can just find me there.
Okay,
I post a lot of stuff about working in the industry. So, yeah.
that's perfect. All right, so we're gonna follow Christina, and you're gonna definitely follow Suplex Dinner Club. That is the home of two of your new favorite podcasts. Mondays we talk college football, Dogs versus All Y'all, where we don't just talk about the two-time defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. I see that reaction. That's cool. We don't just talk about those guys. We talk about all things college football, hence all y'all, and of course Wednesdays is time for the Life in Times podcast. We drop weekly on all podcast platforms, and now we're on YouTube at this point. So hell
Nice.
yeah. So share the podcast with your friends and family and anyone else who likes conversations and vibes. And have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week. Take care of each other. We will see you next week. Peace.
Bye.